Alright, what is up, YouTube? This is John Sabian,
Kyle Sands,
Gage Thompson,
and this is another edition of WWE Speaks. WWE hasn't started doing yet. They're supposed to be launching something called the Bring It Back campaign, and we're supposed to get three things out of this. Bringing back the WWE title out of that stupid-looking spinner belt, bringing back the Hardcore Championship, which that could change because I can't see a Hardcore Championship in a PG era, and also a King of the Ring tournament as a pay-per-view. So it won't be just your normal King of the Ring. You'll get a whole pay-per-view of King of the Ring.
My thoughts?
Just on any of that, yeah.
The only one I really agree with, like that they should bring back and do, is changing the WWE Championship back to the original form. Because, to tell you the truth, I don't even remember what it looks like, but I can tell it looks better than a spinner belt. And CM Punk was right, it looks way too ugly for like a main belt for a business. The reason why I don't agree with Hardcore Championship and the King of the Ring is I don't see anybody really getting the Hardcore Championship except for like Randy Orton, but they wouldn't probably like want to make him the World Heavyweight Champion.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's more like the United States and
yeah. And then I don't see King of the Ring because I don't really see anybody really winning it except for like one of like maybe Randy Orton again.
They still do King of the Ring tournaments.
Yeah, it still happens. It's just having its own paper.
Well, I can't handle it is because WWE's gotten really lazy. They used to have all these great pay-per-views, and now they make whole pay-per-views based off of like one gimmick. Yeah, TLC, Hell in a Cell, Elimination Chamber, Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble makes sense now.
Well, yeah, that one can stay. It's like one of the originals, but I mean, you still got so you got.
We used to have like
Ladder, Money in the Bank.
Yeah, Money in the Bank. We used to have No Mercy, No Way Out,
Armageddon,
Vengeance.
Bad Blood.
Whoops, Vengeance.
Yeah, and these really cool names and all that, and now it's not so much.
It's not so much the name that bothers me, it's just the fact that it's like, oh, we're going to make this whole pay-per-view
around this match set.
Yeah.
I'm all about bringing... well, I'm going to say this. I don't know if they should go back to the old WWE title, but I don't want it to be at the spinner. I think the old one's better than the spinner, and if I have a choice, I would like to see the old one back, because the old one was pretty darn cool looking.
Now, they haven't said if they're going to make it the undisputed version of the title. They just said that it's not going to be the spinner anymore. Yeah. So we might get a new version.
Which could be really awesome, or it could, again, suck. I don't see how they could really make it much worse than the spinner belt without trying.
Because he made a good point. It's really bad to have your centerpiece of a company look like something that was made on Pimp My Ride. It doesn't look very professional at all.
No. And I'm a little disappointed in CM Punk for the sense that he said the first thing he would do is change it, and he hasn't yet.
They might be holding that off for the Bring It Back campaign, though.
Yeah, that's what I think they're going to do. But, I mean, the fact that was a big part of what he was saying, like, I'm going to take that belt, and the first thing I'm going to do is change it, because it's been far too ugly for far too long, and then he did it. That's my little issue. Again, it was bring back the Hardcore title. Again, that might be something that we're kind of starting to see a little shift away from the PG era. Because, let's be honest, I fell off with wrestling for a long time. And then I came back into it with CM Punk's, I'm going to retire thing. And since then, they've kind of been pushing further and further away from PG, like just ever so slightly. Because of CM Punk saying the things he says on Raw all the time, that's not so PG. They're kind of pushing back to TV-14, and yet not quite being TV-14.
I think with them getting this new network, they might officially step away from PG because they can do whatever the hell they want. Yeah. Well, within restrictions of the FCC because they're not a cable network. I'm assuming
they might be.
If it's a paid network, then it would be cable, but unless it's something like HBO.
Yeah. I mean, if they're HBO, they can do whatever the hell they want.
Right.
Which would be pretty epic. But furthermore, the hardcore title, the only issue I would majorly have with the hardcore title coming back, and if it's not in a PGA, is the sense of too many damn belts. The fact of the matter is, you have, they got rid of the two different tag team titles and have a one tag team belt. Because a main part of it is, there's just too many, there's not enough tag teams to really make it interesting. But furthermore, the fact that they have these high rank belts and then these second rate belts, so now, actually have some prestige to them and not just being random things you can throw on people and nobody cares about. And the fact that you now have interesting stories that do not revolve around the title again. Because you have the interesting ones that do revolve around the title, but before, for a while, that's all you had. If you didn't like what was going on with the title, then you had nothing, because there's no cool stories going on. Now you have this one with Kane and Cena, you have CM Punk, you have this...
CM Punk's title.
Kane and Cena, yeah.
Or CM Punk, I mean.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. You said CM Punk, I'm just saying, I'm listing up all the cool storylines I have. Right. Kane and Cena, they have the CM Punk one that's still cool, and it's, again, title. Then you have Ziggler, or, Zack Ryder, with the whole Zack Ryder, Ziggler, and Swagger, that whole thing going on.
Actually, I want to comment on that. With Zack Ryder, I think, everyone wanted to win the U.S. title, but now that he has it feels like it just died. He wanted to win, it died now.
It's died a bit, but again, it's only been 1 week. There is always that layover, unless they have a complete overlap. There's always that layover of storylines. But that's typical.
Dolph Ziggler, though, is now, more after, the WWE's done with, the U.S., and now it's just, who's Zack Ryder going to feud with now?
Well, that's the thing. They could bring somebody out of the darkness to feud for the United States title, and then that'll make it interesting. Yeah. It could be Brodus Clay.
I hope not.
Honestly, I'd like to see the U.S. title be gone, because here's the thing. Intercontinental has a certain prestige. The United States title is kind of unneeded. It's the word United States, Intercontinental, and World don't mean anything. They're just it's basically the World and the WWE are the two major brand titles. Then you have Intercontinental, which is kind of you're not quite best of the best yet, but you deserve to be rewarded. So I can justify it. But the United States title, it has prestige right now. Dolph Ziggler built that title up. They're really doing good with him. But it's kind of what's this title for? Yeah. So in lieu of that,
as weird as this sounds, they have the World Heavyweight title and they have the World title, which is actually the WWE title, whatever you're going to call it. So I want to just say something weird about naming things. Okay, so United States title, obviously that's a much smaller location. Intercontinental title versus the World title. The only thing that they don't have a title over is the oceans. It's the same thing. Intercontinental, that's all the continents. The world, that's the entire world, which has all the
well, that's got the water too.
Yeah, and the water too. So yes, that's 76%. But I don't think Cody Rhodes would sell. He really cares that he is not champion over the 76%. So okay, I'm sorry, Rhodes, you can't defend your title on a barge.
Okay, we can move off this now.
The only reason why I think the U.S. title is still there is because the World Heavyweight balances out the WWE from SmackDown to Raw. The U.S. title
that's what I'm saying. A hardcore that actually has a purpose because it's a gimmick title. In lieu of the United States would balance it out. Anyway,